So finding product market fit is something that I've been reading about a lot with these SaaS businesses. How can you actually define a problem that the customer's having and then solve it in a way that is easy to use and actually delivers value that the customer is willing to pay for. So I'm absolutely convinced there's a problem out there of people just completely winging their training. They just go out there, go for a run, go for a bike ride without any kind of structure, without any kind of guidance or direction in terms of intensity. And it's like, what's the point? Yeah, it's good fun, but it's so hard. You're just absolutely smashing yourself each time. You've got no direction. Lots of people, to be honest, like me, are way too busy to have a coach. I can't really turn up to club sessions. That there's this like pandemic of a problem out there that people just hate doing cardiovascular exercise just because it's too difficult. And the root cause of this problem is that people just go out there and absolutely smash themselves. I'm looking to get people into training for 6 to 12 years, not 6 to 12 weeks towards some marathon or half marathon. Because once the goal's over, what you find is a lot of people stop or they lose the fun. And this is because they don't really understand the science behind why they're actually training, or like, what's the actual benefit of doing easy runs? Like, what's actually happening in your body when you do these harder runs or these harder bike rides? How can you structure the intensity of your week so that you're like maximizing these sessions that you're doing? So, you know, if you look at the vast majority of people who work full time, who have kids, who actually want to have a life, you know, or want to go to the wedding at the weekend and drink or eat whatever they want. You know, most people, just to get out every single day is actually really, really difficult. You know, if you've got nursery drop off, school drop off, maybe you're working late, maybe you're working away for the week, just to try and then get exercise in on top of it is just such a big achievement. So if you're actually going out there and then you decide, all right, I'm going to smash myself, it just adds so much extra stress to what most normal people have with a job and the kids and family. So what I want to do is I want to create an app that solves a problem that actually helps normal people to try and maximize their training, so they're not even considering things like Ozempic. So you can eat what you want. So there's no guilt at the weekend if you went to some party and you had a load of cake. Maybe you had like a curry night with the lads. It doesn't matter, because you're training, because you've built this base up of easy training over time and you actually enjoy it. Look, training's really hard, and then to try and build it into your life is even harder. And then the other thing that doesn't help is, and I love Strava and I love Garmin. They're two of my favourite brands with Parkrun and Nike and some of these others. But they have these random numbers: training score, VO2 max, unproductive. Just these numbers that just batter people, where you see some random graph that's calculated some random number and it tells someone that their run that they tried really hard on was unproductive. I call this toxic data. It's just so unhelpful. The best thing you can do is just go for an easy run and just set your watch to beep at you, or go for a bike ride. Really, really easy. You're much better off just doing easy sessions for 6 months than you are smashing yourself for 2 or 3 weeks, eating salad and then getting depressed because you're absolutely miserable. So I want my app. Yeah, of course, there's elites out there that can test their blood and you can come up with the most advanced session that you want, or you can use AI to analyze every single part of your run. But actually, the people that I truly, truly want to help are the people who work in finance, work in marketing, product, the warehouse, whatever it is, and they want to feel good when they go on holiday. They want to be able to take their shirt off and be proud. But the main reason why they're not is just because they don't enjoy exercise. And I'm here to solve that problem. So since the age of about 12, I've trained as a pretty elite triathlete, and I just loved it. I had the best coaches in the world when I was training at Bodyworks with Glenn and Sarah, and I went to Leeds Uni and trained with the Brownlees and some of the other guys up there. And I just saw these guys training, and I was like, most of the sessions these guys do, they're not absolutely smashing themselves. And then you go out there into the real world, when I got a job or I started watching people on Strava, and I'm looking at people's runs like, fuck me, you thought it was an easy run, and actually your heart rate was like 170, 180. No wonder you hate running. You've absolutely smashed yourself for an hour. Like, no pro even does that. No pro goes out there and just, if like, I don't know, they only train for like 20% of their sessions, absolutely annihilate themselves. Yeah, maybe there's a small percentage of their training that does this, but actually there's so many people out there that I feel I can help by giving them some structure and showing them with data that's not toxic, that's encouraging, that actually shows people how to train better and how to actually enjoy their running or cycling or whatever it is. I actually think if you're trying to lose weight and you don't run, going out for a run is just like juggling knives. You're just going to get injured. I think there's better ways, like, you know, cross training or going on the rowing machine or cycling to work, that actually can be much better and more productive, consistent long-term ways of losing weight. But then of course there's the like 22, 23 minute park runner that probably doesn't have a coach, that by making a few small tweaks to their structures, maybe they're trying to do some intensity and they're not hitting the right intensity or recovery, the AI within the app will definitely help you out. If you want to generate a workout that's completely customized to your ability or your performance, definitely check out the Train Me. If you're absolutely obsessed and you love data and maybe you want to just take your training to the next level, I cannot recommend actually taking your own blood in your garage. It's just for a tiny pinprick of blood from your finger. I'm going to do some videos on this, and then you can precisely track exactly where your training heart rates need to be. And then finally, actually there's two more things. So Strava Hunter, or I call it the friend war. Where the hell's this path going? I'll go through here. So obviously I'm so biased, but the Strava war, friend war, I can't remember what I called it now, is so good. If you ever hunted down Strava segments, or maybe you've looked to find them when you've been on holiday, or you just think, God, I'm gonna have a go at finding them. Yeah, they're fast. But actually, if you hunt around on Strava, you can find some really slightly slower Strava segments. So if you're kind of like a 20-minute park runner, or maybe you've got some really good speed over 500 meters, and you think, yeah, I'll never win a Strava segment, check out the Friend War Strava Segment Hunter. It's a super, super easy way of finding segments in your area. And what you can do is you can view them, save them, view them in Strava, and then you can attack them. But the other fun thing is that you can send that Strava segment to a friend or group of friends with a deadline, and you can then race against each other over the week or 2 or 3 days to try and have a competition. But one of the things I'm adding in at the moment, because, you know, most people are of different standards, but if you look at sports like golf, or I'm trying to think of something else, maybe sailing, where there's a handicap, it becomes much more inclusive when there's a handicap involved. So what I'm working on at the moment is a handicap system. So you enter in your 5K time, and then what it does is it calculates your pace per 1 kilometre, and then it creates a handicap leaderboard, so it's much more even, much more fun, so that you can compete against your mum or your uncle or your mate who's nowhere near as fast, or maybe you're not as fast as them. And it just makes it much more fun. And I might even do it where you can win like fake prizes or maybe some kind of fake money. Maybe automate it each week so it automatically finds you a Strava segment that you can compete against. Maybe there's some sort of prize for who's the fastest one to go and complete it, first one to complete it, most consistent. So the final part that I'm working on in the app is creating a 6-week dashboard so that you can actually see what is your training intensity distribution, and then use AI to analyze your training and to give you much better direction. To say, actually, you're training too hard, training too easy. So by understanding what your training intensity distribution is, maybe you're doing way too much hard work, not enough easy mileage, the AI will then analyze all of your training and give you much more detailed reports on fatigue, or maybe like this session didn't match the previous session. So make sure to come along for the ride. Please give feedback on the app. There's loads of ways you can do it. You can contact me directly through the app. You can give a thumbs up, thumbs down within the app. You can report stuff. You can email me, barney@lactatetraining.com. And that way, if you like something that you see, you don't like something, maybe a session hasn't pulled in properly, or there's some kind of error, please let me know and I'll try and fix it. Thank you.